Hello, and welcome to this course on econometrics. Econometrics happens to be a very widely studied branch in the field of statistical sciences, and our endeavor in this course would be to gather the essence of this particular field and how we can apply it in business use case scenarios. In this first module, however, we will be covering about econometrics from this perspective of the definition of econometrics, its applications, the different data sets that exist. So let's move on and let's look at the agenda for this particular module. The learning outcomes for this particular module would focus primarily on understanding what econometrics comprises of in the capacity of its definition, its use cases, examples in the business scenario. Then we move on and we define what constitutes a typical empirical model in the field of econometrics. We go one step ahead and then we understand the structure of economic data. And then towards the end of this particular module, we'll be having introduction to RStudio and we'll be looking at some basic commands and configurations that exist in RStudio. So moving on, the first topic or the first part of this two-part module is econometrics and its related data. Now, what do we mean by econometrics? If I define econometrics is essentially a branch or development of statistical sciences or statistical methods that are used and are stressed on estimating economic relationships, testing economic theories, and evaluating and implementing government and business policy. Now, why this is a specific application of statistical sciences is that because it solely focuses on economic variables. In statistics, we have a variety of problems that may or may not involve economic variables like interest rates, national income, rate of employment, and all such variables that have economic underpinnings. But econometrics is that branch of statistical sciences that deals specifically with such variables. And if you see in the slide over here, we've quoted some examples of econometrics where econometric studies are used. Firstly, assessing the impact of government policies on national income. This is in fact a study that kind of relates to what impact a particular government policy can have on the national income. So that is why it is part of econometrics and not generic statistics per se. Secondly, second example is forecasting of inflation rates, GDP and interest rates, all of which happen to be economic variables in themselves. Then comes forecasting the demand of a certain product. This is also one such example of econometrics modeling. Now, if we focus on the first two examples, we are looking at an econometric model from the perspective of macroeconomics. Means we are looking at some economic policy that is influencing a larger section of the population or the entire population per se, and that is why it happens to belong to the macroeconomics side of econometrics modeling. And if we look at the latter two examples, they happen to relate to economic variables that are localized to some sample of a particular population, and hence they constitute the microeconomic side of econometrics modeling. Forecasting demand of a certain product is in fact something that is localized in its entire sense. It does not have any impact on the larger population or the national variables per se. That is why it is constituting a part of the microeconomic class of econometric models. Similar thing can be seen when we see the last example where you study the impact of school expenditure on the student performance, wherein the population or sample in question is the number of students or the students of that particular school and does not entirely correlate to all the schools existing in that particular region, strata, society, state or country. Now, if we go on and talk about the different steps that exist in formulating an econometric model, we'll be broadly looking at 5 primary steps, and which is called in literature as an empirical economic analysis. Now, an empirical analysis is an analysis that uses some sort of data to test a theory or to estimate a relationship. That is by far the motto of any particular statistical model. You do need to have data in order to test a hypothesis or estimate a relationship or causality between two different variables or more than two different variables. Speaking strictly in sense of empirical economic analysis, we narrow it down to 5 different steps. First step, which is common across all statistical problems, is identifying the problem itself, whether it correlates to studying the impact of any government initiative on unemployment or the national income or the public behavior. The first step essentially remains where you identify the problem statement, understand the business context. Next step or the next part of an empirical economic analysis is estimating the variables. The next step after you narrow down on the useful variables is to formulate your economic model. Now this economic model will in fact just tell you the output variable that you want to test and the dependent variables or the input variables which will help you define the relationship with your output variable. The next important step is to collect your data. This is a very important and time consuming step where you kind of resort to sampling populations, interviewing them, surveying them, collecting all sorts of primary as well as secondary data. You also rely on syndicate databases to provide you with essential knowledge related to your variables that you had estimated in the second stage of this entire process. And finally, after you have been satisfied with the data collection part, you move on to the last part wherein you formulate an econometric model. Moving on, let's now stress on some data sets that are most commonly used in econometric modeling. There are 4 different types of data sets that you will encounter in your day-to-day work in econometric modeling. There is your cross-sectional data, there is time series data, there is something which you call as pooled cross sections, and then finally you have the panel or longitudinal data.